Hello, 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 hello. Twe, twe. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, Unique Pro, good morning. Good morning, sis. How are you? How is your day going? Let's come and learn some lesson. Oh, I'm so sorry. Rosie, how are you, sis? I'm so sorry. I need to do this show. If I don't do it now, I will forget all about it again. And I want to do an interview this evening. I'm coming back to do an interview around about 7, so I just needed to do this out of the way. We are talking about these P-Square brothers, but there are lessons that I want us to come. Let's come and reflect on some lessons. As much as we want to talk about me, I'm not interested in their private lives. You know me, their private life is their business. But I'm more interested in, let's learn. You know, my page is all about us learning lessons. Let's come and learn some lessons from what they've done. Let's come and learn some lessons. A lot of us are in the shoes of these guys. A lot of us are on the table that these 3 young men found themselves. A lot of us are on their table, and there's no saint. I'm not here to come and identify who is a saint and who is not a saint. Instead, I'm here for us to come and learn. There's loads of lessons to be learned from all that we have seen playing out. And don't come and say, it cannot happen to me. That's a big fat lie. It cannot happen to you is a big fat lie. It's a big fat lie that it cannot happen to you. Because the brothers, when they got themselves together in where they are now, if somebody had told them that time, they were more focused on money. They were more focused on getting fame. And of course, in the quest of them getting fame, the true basic things that should be a priority for them, they threw it in the bin. And today, we see them coming on social media to come and start screaming and shouting, to come and be doing part 1 to 8A and 8B and 8Z. Please, if you please, I know they do shakara. Kindly help me share this show. Please, kindly help us share this show. There's a lot of lessons. Even me that I'm talking, I have learned a lot. I'm also learning. Me and my friend that we're doing business together, we have to sit down and reflect. And part of our reflection is what I want us to come and talk about. Peter P-Square. Sorry, I'm going to refer to. Okay. So the P-Square brothers. Siri don't come with a wahala now. Okola no vex you. Siri don't carry himself. Oh, leave me alone. Okay, I think this is the best. I took notes, so today's show I'm going to be doing it from the notes I have taken. Okay, I'm going to do it from the notes I have taken. There's loads and loads of lessons. Please come closer. Let us learn. You know, for every... Hello, Abundant Grace. How are you? How are you doing? All of us, a lot of us, by the time we are going to finish this show, I'm sure a lot of us will see ourselves on this table. A lot of us will see ourselves, even including me. When I was reflecting on their quarrel, what they are talking about, and myself and my friend who were doing business together, we had to sit down. And reread all the legal paperwork around the business that we have put together. You remember I told you the travel business, myself and my friend are doing it together. Although she's a friend, she's like a big sister. She's more of a big sister to me, but also a friend. And you see, it's very easy to get carried away. It's very, very easy to get carried away in this type of scenario. Now, we've been, all of us, it is no longer news that the P Square brothers, that Peter P Square came outside to come and speak grammar. That's Mr. Peter Okoye. The Okoye brothers, the three guys you are looking at, in case you're not familiar with their story, is the Okoye brothers. The one on yellow and the one on sunglasses. Both of them are the face of P Square. However, by the time we finish this show, we go know whether na true, whether na dem get, whether true they be P Square. I been at the three of them, I be P Square. We go reflect on that. The answer will be in the pudding. The truth about it is, you see, good morning, Carola. Sis, good morning, ma. I've tried to call you. I tried to call you, ma. Did you get my message? I tried to call you. I know you might have been busy. I tried to call you, ma. Yeah. So, welcome back, everybody. I'm greeting you all as you are greeting me. I took notes, so it might look like I'm reading from something. Yes, I am reading because I took notes. You know, like when I do my shows, I'm that kind of person. I like to take notes. I like to reflect on what I'm talking about. So I'm someone that likes to write. I like to take notes. I don't like to lose my line of thoughts. We have talked about, when I did the show on P Square, I'm not on the side of any one of them. I think all three of them, they mixed business with pleasure. They mixed business with familiarity. However, we are not there. We don't live in their, sorry. Okay, let me put this on silent. Sorry. We don't live. Okay. We don't live in their houses. All we are hearing is Peter coming out to come and speak. We have heard Jude come and speak. We have also heard Rude Boy, which is Paul. He has left a press statement. And all three of them in the past, they've all disked themselves. Somehow, Peter did not necessarily speak in public, but they distract themselves enough for us to know that all three of them, there's things are no longer at ease. Who remember that book, No Longer at Ease? When the arrow of God is no longer at ease, things fall apart. Chinua Achebe. Okay, ma. Okay, no problem. I'm at home all day today. I'm at home. I was attending an online court session. Yeah. So let us get down to business. I want us to have a different view and conversation about this P Square and their family Buhaha. Okay? I am not here, like I said, I'm not here to come and talk about whether P Square, whether Peter is guilty or Paul is guilty or Jude is guilty. That's not what I'm here for. You know, my page is all about reflective. We need to reflect as much as we are doing aproko, as much as we are listening and we are listening to story and we are telling the story. We also need to draw the story close home to ourselves, because each and every one of us, we are P Square brothers. We have P Square brothers. We have P Square brother behavior among ourselves. A lot of us, when we are doing businesses with our friends, our families, we throw caution in the air. Adebisi Adeleke, good morning. How are you? I'm greeting everybody as you are greeting me. Sorry, I'm not ignoring your greeting. It's just I'm concentrating, so I'm so sorry. I'm greeting everybody. A lot of us, we throw caution in the air when we want to go into business, or when we want to, like, whether business with our friends, with our families, with our parents. If you are an adult, when you don't want to do business with our parents or want to do business with our children, we throw caution in the air. Me that I'm talking to you, I have done that several times. I've had my fingers burnt. Okay, So I am not a saint, and I'm very, very sure a lot of us are on that table. A lot of us do businesses with our children. We have businesses with our friends. We have businesses with our siblings. We have businesses with family members, and we don't do formal documentation. Instead, we are very keen to, like, oh, let's go and register the business, and then we go from there. Hello, it doesn't work like that. Okay. And today's live stream, my show is not about picking between I stand with Peter, I stand with Paul, I stand with Jude. No, I am not standing with anybody. We are here to come and learn. So please get your pen and paper. If you can download the video, download it. If you can share it, share it. Please share the video, like, love, and comment. Engage with us. And of course, Fifi David, how about you? And of course, I will allow calling after the end of the show, but let's finish first. Let's finish so that we do what we have to do. And of course, please, let's be very mindful of the comments. Let's be very mindful of our comments. There's no fighting. Please don't fight. Don't fight yourself. Don't insult yourself. There is no right or wrong answer. Social media is not the court of law. But on social media brings reality to our doorstep. There was a time we didn't have social media, so we didn't know what was going on with the girl next door or the boy next door. Now, if person piss for inside house, through social media, we go hear them for main road. So, instead, today, I want us to ask a much more important question. Okay? The first question is, what can families, entrepreneurs, and business partners learn from what has unfolded publicly around the Peace Square? Remember I told you, I said, me and my friend, we had to go and get all our paperwork. We go carry and come outside. We begin to read them word for word so that we are on the same page. Okay? So, there's lessons for us to learn. What can we learn from it? If you're a business owner, if you're a family, if you are families, if you're entrepreneurs, if you are business partners, if you are business partners, if you are ally or investor, if you are an investor, maybe your brother wants to do business or your sister wants to do business or your family member wants to do business, and you want to invest. You remember that their senior brother Henry, he say he put money, and they said they be giving 12%, 20%. Remember everything na verbatim level. There is no record. There is no formal record of the sharing formula for him. Now the guy is sit down, he dey count in loss. Okay, a lot of us are like that. If I do poll now, if I say how many of us don't invest, our brother, our sister, our cousin, our neighbor, our family member, how many of us don't invest for wasted business? We plenty. We plenty on this table. Okay, in short, as I did so. Anyway, if we plenty on this table. Okay, so because behind the fame, music, and family disagreement is a serious business lesson. That's why I say carry your pen, carry your paper, share this video with as many people as you can share it with. Even me myself, when I finish doing the show, myself, I always go back to go and wash my shoes. Because there's no fountain, nobody is a fountain of knowledge. We are all learning together, including me myself by myself. So, as we all know, P Square became one of African's biggest recognized music brand. In short, arguable, we could call them the Jackson 5 of Africa. Okay? There were these young guys who, they're twins. They were very united. They, as far as we could see in the public, they were very united. They sang. Their chemistry was great. The command on stage was wonderful. The songs they brought, they brought all this our high life kind of music. Their kind of Afro beat was more of high life Afro beats, and with a touch of pop, with a touch of Michael Jackson. In short, that was what stood them out, because all their songs was in the theme of Michael Jackson. You could tell very easily that their music lifestyle, that their showbiz lifestyle is greatly influenced by Michael Jackson. You could tell by that. Okay, like all this. Which one? Well, I can't remember the first one they sang. Anyway, personally, personally, say that Michael Jackson dance the dance for there. That day I dance for moonwalk. Na him dey dance. I dance in a lingo, dancing a lingo. Na moonwalk. They do some no. She personally na moonwalk. Alingo. They sha. If you go watch their videos, I'm very very sure most of us know their video. If you go and watch their videos, you go see Michael Jackson. They be Nigerian Michael Jackson. Okay, especially this one we wear sunshade, we doing leg like tantering. He sabi dance, Michael Jackson dance way. And the guy sabi screech. And of course, Kafi D, I don't know what they call, I don't know what her second name is, but Kafi the dancer, she did a very good job with them. So P Square. Hey, Diaspora Diva, how are you, sis? How are you doing? So P Square, like I said, became one of the most recognized, one of Africa's most recognized music brand. But when family relationship and business exist side by side, love and trust alone may not be enough to protect either the family or the business, and that is why we are here today. Why they were a very big brand, why they were highly influenced by Michael Jackson, even till now, you still see that their music is still very much influenced by the Michael Jackson thing. They have the high life in it. Oh yeah. I remember wedding that time. Anybody when they do wedding, they never sing no one like you, one like you. Oh, which one is Peter? Peter is the one on Sunshade. That's why I deliberately use this video, this picture I use. Peter is the one on Sunshade. Paul, the one with Dada, the one with dreadlocks, is the one in yellow. And Jude, their manager, is the one in the middle. Okay? Yeah. So, the one in yellow is the one with dreadlock, now known as Rude Boy. Good afternoon. Good morning. 12, yeah. The one on yellow is now known as Rude Boy, which is Paul Okoye. The one with the sunshade is now known as Mr. P, which is Peter Okoye. The one on Sunshade is the one that came out to now start narrating part 1 to 8B. Now there we did. We never reached part 1000 yet. Then the one in the middle is Brother Jude. That's their older brother who apparently started managing them. So, while they were building their brand, they were very keen to be in the limelight. They were very keen. Please like the show. Kindly help us like the show. On YouTube, we are over 100 watching, and it's just 7 likes. Please kindly hit the like button. Please do that for me, please. No. Peter sings, but he sings more like Usher. He does more of the Usher kind of singing. He's got that cool Usher look kind of singing. Why? And he's very good in dancing. Okay, no problem. Just give me a call. 12. Give me a call when you're ready. Once the show is done, give me a call. Peter, the one on Sunshade, does a lot of Usher kind of scenario. He sings like Usher. He's got a very soft singing, like a more of R&B kind of scenario, and he's very good in dancing. Yeah, no problem. Jem. Then what's the name? Paul is the one. His song is more like flavor, but in a different way. Okay, he is still maintaining the P Square kind of the main song. He's still maintaining the P Square kind of the same song, and Paul I would say he's a dancer, but I don't think he's more of a. I don't think he's more into the dancing thing. I think he is more into music than dancing. Why Peter does the music and dance, okay? But Paul's kind of music, that's the one on Yellow. The one on Yellow, his music is mainly influenced by Oliver the Cook, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way. It's just, and that's the same thing too for Flavor as well, where they sing this high life. If you know Oliver the Cook, remember, I can't remember any of Oliver the Cook's kind of song, but he kind of infused high life into Afrobeats. That's his kind of song. I mean, that's very very strong when you look at when you look at what's the name, the song he sang, Reason With Me. If I no get today, I go get time tomorrow, but I won't make you kinikon. You know, his music is very influenced by Oliver the Cook, and you can tell, okay, it's very Afrobeat slash high life kind of music. Why Peter, the one on Sunglasses, he is influenced by Michael Jackson. And he said it several times, he's never hidden it. He's more influenced by Michael Jackson, but his kind of music is more of R&B. And yes, I think I came across a video where he was saying, I think a video, couple of his interviews where he was talking about how he's been influenced by Usher's way of singing. Okay, so yes, so that's that. Now, but while they were building their music brand, building their entertainment branded name. Okay, unfortunately, they did not separate their business from their personal relationship. Remember, all three of them are brothers. They are Okoyes. Their son name is Okoye. So their stage name is P Square. However, their individual name, the one on Sunglasses is Peter. The one on Yellow is Paul. And the one in the middle is Jude, sorry. And all three of them. So Peter and Paul, they are twin. However, Jude is their older brother. I'm not sure. I think there's like maybe about 2-3 years senior to them or so, but it's not their direct immediate older brother. Okay, so when they started their music, like I said, all the two of them attended St. Murumbas. I can't remember if Jude attended, but I know I have friends who were their senior when they were at St. Murumbas in Jos. If you know Jos, you know St. Murumbas, okay? So I have people who I know who were their seniors at school, and I remember very well, even when they started singing then, I remember very well they got a lot of love and likes from a lot of support from Jos, because they are justified guys. So people from Jos, they call them either Josite or Justified. That's what they call them. So they got a lot of support from Jos. Okay, and you know, of course, they are from the east. I think they are they are from Anambra State, but they grew up in Jos. They are very Jos boys. Jos is home for them. Okay, and they do a lot of charitable work in Jos. In short, you can't put that away. You can't throw that away from them. They do a lot of charitable. I know when the crisis in Jos, like I said, there's like a coordinating group that I belong to. Obviously, I lived in Jos as well, so we do a lot of what do they call it now? What do they call that thing that we do when you are reaching out to the internally displaced people? I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember the English in my head, but we do a lot of. I don't know. I'll call it charitable. But that's what I can think about it just now. We do a lot of relief. Charitable work. We have people that are going to school and they invest heavily themselves in not LD. I can't remember the name of that guy. There are quite a few of them, like the Jos guys. Most of the musicians that came from Jos, they are heavily involved, and I know that for a fact because I'm part of it. So they are heavily involved in the financing. We all put money together. Nobody cares who you are. We all put money together because Jos used to be a very beautiful place until all this Wahala Kasala started. Anyway, let us continue. So they didn't separate business. They allowed their business and their personal relationship to coexist side by side. So instead of them putting legal paperwork together, good afternoon, Itunu Oluwa, good afternoon. So instead of them putting legal paperwork together, unfortunately, they didn't do that. Yes, they registered their business, but when they registered their business, instead of them to pay attention to the nitty-gritty of their business, they allowed love, trust, and loyalty to be the determinant of their business. Okay? They did not protect and separate their business from their personal lives. And of course, if you listen to Paul, if you listen to Jude, if you listen to Peter, all three of them talk about how they have been hurt by words that have been said about themselves, about each other, the words they said to each other, the words they said about each other's wives, each other's children, each other's relationship, whatever the story. You can tell that all things like that should never be, things like that should never make its way into their business. Of course, there were rifts, and that is the beginning of their problem. The beginning of their problem is they never separated business from their personal relationships. Okay? They did not define what they wanted to do properly. So, upon reflection, there are three key areas to reflect upon. And I'm going to break those three key areas down one by one. The first key area is what happens when family trust replaces former corporate governance. I will repeat myself again. What happens when family trust replaces former corporate governance? Hold that question there. We will treat it. The second one, what is the difference between managing a business and owning it? I'm sure you are beginning to make sense now. That's the second question. The third question, why are periodic financial reviews and independent audit important? And then the last but not the least, and perhaps the biggest question, who exactly was P-Square from a legal and business perspective? And I will tell you why I'm asking that question. We go reach there. I go break all four, the key four major issues that I reflected on is what I want to share with you. We all hear P-Square, 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 P-Square. When they say P-Square, we go say na Peter and Paul. Is it truly Peter and Paul? We don't know. Was P-Square Peter and Paul, or was P-Square Peter, Paul, and Jude? We go answer the question. Was Jude simply the manager? What right did each of them, that is Peter, Paul, and Jude, what right do they have individually in their businesses? What obligation did each person have? And where were these things documented? It's one thing to say this is what I'm expected to do. Is there a documentation to that effect? Forget about VDM now. VDM is not a relevant story. Put VDM in one corner. Let us pay attention. Let us learn. Okay? I'm not interested in their drama. Let us learn. Because this got me thinking. So if you have businesses, maybe you are doing business with your friend, maybe you are doing business with your family, you are doing business with your sibling, you are doing business with your children are doing businesses with you, it's very important. Please, let us pay attention. Let us all learn. Let us all learn. We need to learn together. These are questions for reflections, not conclusions about facts that may still be disputed. Remember, say we no follow them their house. Remember, we no follow them their house. Now, let us address the first one. When brotherly love replaces business governance. That is the first one. Okay? One of the biggest lessons I take from the P-Square story is this. And that is me. Like I said, I took a note, so I'm reading on my notes. I no sleep until around about 2 a.m. because it led to a very deep reflection. and myself and my friend that we both are doing business together, she's currently traveling, and we had to sit down, even though we're in different time zones. We sat down together, on online. Thank goodness for social media, for WhatsApp videos. We sat down, we're reading through, making sure we cross our T's and dot our I's. Okay, and of course we had some questions that we felt was not clear enough, so we sent it to the legal for them to look at it for us and clarify that, because we noticed some things were not properly clarified. So I'm literally taking you through my own reflection. Yeah. Rosie, I'm very, very thorough. I'm a very thorough person. I'm very, very detailed. I'm very, very detailed. That's me. And I'm very, very particular about what I do. I don't go into what I cannot. If I don't understand the nitty-gritty of it, I don't go into it. So, like I said, one of the biggest lessons I take from the P-Square story is trust is important in business, but trust is not a governance structure. Okay? That's one of my biggest lessons. When business starts between siblings, friends, spouses, or relatives, formal agreement can sometimes feel unnecessary. Did you understand that? Sometimes when we are doing business with our friend, with our wife, with our husband, with our brother, with our sister, with our relative, distance cousin, whoever the relative is, maybe mother, whether father, whether children, they do see finish. Okay, we try to, and we are all guilty. We do see finish. Like my friend that we are running the business, the travel business together. Sometimes there are things that we want to do, and she'll say, no, I trust you to do. And I'm like, no, don't trust me. Let's do it together. Okay? We have our various tasks that we do and that we put together. We have our various tasks that we do, and both of us put in a lot of work. In short, right now, the business is still new. It's still very, very young. So we are putting quite a lot. I'm working full-time. So away from my full-time, in short, I'm working full-time. While I'm doing my normal full-time 9-to-5 job, I'm also doing this 9-to-5 behind the scene. And so there's a lot that I'm putting in place, okay? So, and the truth about it is, a lot of us, we throw cautions in the air when we are doing business with our wives, with our husbands, with our brothers, with our friends, with our relatives, or even colleagues. We throw caution in the air. We put what we're supposed to put forward, we throw it behind. You will hear things like, that's my brother, that's my sister, we grew up together, now my neighbor, we trust each other, we don't need lawyer. And sometimes even, why are you asking for paperwork? Don't you trust me? So think back to what Peter was saying about registration. Think back to what Peter was saying about money. Think back to what Peter was saying about management, where they had individual managers initially, and then their brother came, and for one way or the other, Jude came into the picture. And from all that Peter said so far, there was nowhere that Peter said we had a formal documentation of individual roles, individual obligation, individual identity in the business. Henry, their older brother, one of their brothers, that one say he put money, say na he first carry money invest for their business. He say when he invested the money, they said they go give am 20%. However, when the business begin dey pick up, when their brand begin dey pick up, they put on Boda Henry, they put am for one corner, they lock am inside pangolo. Okay? Tony self say that one na him be the senior brother to the Ejima. He saying they dance for them. True, if you go watch their videos, you go see where Tony they do Michael Jackson, show me your star. He dey do one for there. That one we no know how they take pay am. Whether na pay per hour, whether na pay per show, whether na pay per second, whether na pay per dance step, we no know. There's nothing to stipulate it. All the grammar where Peter Jude don't do respond, Paul himself don't do respond. All the grammar wey all of them speak, none of them has come outside anywhere to say legally, oh, these are the documentation of our registration. None of them has come out to come and tell us, there is no under this is how we register. This is what the registration says. This is individual role. This is individual obligation. This is individual. This is what we are. This is the written agreement. They get sharing formula. When they decide to share it 40-40 equal sharing between the three of them, who authorized that? How long was that meant to be for? There is nothing to tell us that. Peter say Jude register business. He put him wife inside the business where he register. Did Jude understand what was Jude's role as a manager? Is he meant to register a business within the P Square brand name? Nobody knows that. Right now, the three of them, they have gone their separate way. Jude, they do his own business. Peter, they do Mr. P. Rude Boy, they do Mr. Rude Boy. Till today, we no understand. There is no way that there's a documentation to tell us what happens when they separate. What legal obligation? What are the liability? What are the assets? Where are the, what is it about them? When they separate, who takes liability? Who takes certain assets? Nobody has told us anything. All they are saying to us is all emotionally driven narrative based on pure trust and love and brotherliness and brotherhood. Okay? And you also see that with the likes of Wizkid. Remember the days of Wizkid with the Banky W? Again, it was based on trust. I trust you. He put an inside signature. He signed. The same thing too we see with Kiss Daniel. The same thing repeated itself. Mohbad, don't let us go far away. Mohbad himself did the same thing. What be their name? Don Jazzy and D'banj. We saw that their own. The only difference is they no fight their own, come outside. Okay? Remember, Mohbad again, he dan. You remember the days of more hits. One day I see, he no fit come outside, come talk am. A lot of people are on this table where they sign based on trust. Toyo Baby came outside to come and talk about Funke Akindele. It was all based on trust. All of them, go and look at the music, go and look at our entertainment industry. Most of what they do is all based on trust. Tiwa, Tenny, don't worry, it's my sister, it's my brother. And that's why you see that they beef themselves, they go into each other's personal lives because they did not separate relationship from business relationship, from business transactions. Okay. You will see people ask, why are you asking for paperwork? Do you not trust me? But then the question is, but that is exactly where problem can begin. A written agreement doesn't necessarily mean you don't trust somebody. Okay? Sometimes documentation is actually a way of protecting the relationship. Imagine if all three of them did things in a legal way. We don't know. But from the way they are all speaking, it doesn't look like that. Okay? So, if they all had legal documentation, I guess things would have been said differently. Because all this story where we dey talk, so now court na go help them carry scissors and blade put inside their case. Sometimes documentation is actually helps to protect that relationship. Imagine when Peter said they call Lola Ash. He said they call him Pikin Iba. Jude self say Paul insult am. Paul, that one say, in short, that one no even know the one. Peter say Paul insult him wife. If they had done things in a legal paper way, where they documented everything legally, hello, nobody go sit down. They talk, they told me, they scam me, they carry money, they call my wife. I sat down on the floor. My mama came, said their mama come with pastor. Come they discuss who go sit down for house and who no go sit down for inside house. And Nigerian children, you see all these Nigerian children, all these Gen Z, they don't kuku help them take do AI story. You get one person wey don do AI story, wey don do they say the money, they say person wey dey manage say Peter go fall in love with am. We no know whether na true whether na lie, but that is AI story. Imagine three brothers, imagine the three of them building successful and entertainment operation. One side performs, another person manages, money comes in. Imagine, contract are signed, company may be created, expenses are paid, property or investment may be acquired. Years pass, the operation become bigger and bigger. At some point, brotherly understanding is no longer enough, and that's what we have seen. Where initially when they started P Square, okay, when they started doing their P Square thing, you remember it was just Peter and Paul. Now my brother I love my brother and I did this sing. Remember that their song that time? Is me and Peter Peter and Paul will be one, will not be two. I don't remember all those their song, but you know what I they talk. They started, they were doing dancing. That time they go dance. They do dance for St. Murumbas. That was what they were doing back then. Now dance, they dance for St. Murumbas. From dancing, they go do competition, they come win. From winning, they begin they do their song. E no easy, if you no get money, the body they shop money, you must shop my money. They do collabo. They do collabo together. You must shop my money. I don't care. Personally, my banker Latin akpakam, my body no dey lie. They begin they do orishirishi. My banker Latin akpakam, my body no dey lie. They begin they do. Oh yeah, no one like you, beautiful onyinye. See my brother, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You remember, you know all those their song that time. They begin they do all those their song. As they dance, they dance. They remember money con dey enter. Remember say social media never gba no like this that time. So they had iRockin, who signed the iRockin contract. Did they understand what they were signing? Remember there was Sound City, there was It TV, there was Channel O. Remember, who remember those days now? All those different media houses were reaching out to them. Some of their songs were being played in music, in movies. Were they getting royalties for that? Abi did they do na my brother, na my friend? So all of those things, remember when they started, money no today. And over time, their brand began to grow. From singing in clubs, they started singing. They had their music videos. Then from music video, they started singing in corporate events. From corporate events, they doors open for them to go and start singing internationally. And of course, singing internationally means that opens the door for them to start. That opened financial doors, brand deals, collaborations. Remember they collaborated with Akon. They collaborated with I think Rick Ross. Is it Rick Ross? The guy is called. Remember I think that's the one they did beautiful Onyinye. Oh my brother, Kiniko Onyinye. They remember they even did. I think they also did. Did they do with Snoop Doggy? I can't remember. If they did. To be honest, I can't remember. Remember they did with Akon. Remember they also sang song with Two-Face. They sang song, oh my collabo. They do that one with Don Jazzy. Remember they were collaborating and collaborating. All those things was bringing money. There was formula sharing. Investment from just Peter and Paul. It became Peter, Paul and Jude. And of course, Money was entering. They were making revenues. You know, it was the one in yellow that was accused of that. It was the one in yellow that was accused. We don't know what the facts about it is, but that was what he was accused of, according to Gistlover. Anyway, so, you know, they were signing deals, they were signing contracts with movie industry, I'm guessing, because they were playing some. I mean, if you look at Nigerian Nollywood, they play most of the Nigerian music industry musics, you know, as their line in their movies. So, you know, they were singing, they were having deals, they sang with Akon. That would have opened them up more internationally. You know, so the question is, did they do the right thing? Maybe they started shabbishly, but over time, did they perfect how they started? No, they didn't. They didn't perfect their business. There was no legal paperwork apart from what they are signing. Even the contract they signed, did they sit with legal? Did they sit with lawyers, with legal teams? Because remember, Ubi Franklin too. Inyanya self call and come outside. Inyanya call and come outside. Nothing wey Inyanya no use and take do. Money self. Kinon poruko boy. Harry, what do you mean now? After the reggae play the what do you know that guy? Harry song, I've been a Harry song. That one self. All of them, if you go and look at the music industry and the movie industry, all of them have something in common. Now, when they were making all this money, this fame was coming, investment was coming, orishirishi was coming. The question is, at some point, brotherly love was no longer enough. I trust you, my brother, was no longer enough. And that's why we have seen what has happened now, where all of them, they see Mike. The business needed a system. P-Square business needed a system. Who can sign contracts? Now so you talk, I'm okay. So the business needed a system to identify who can sign contracts, who can open or operate accounts. Of course, Peter was saying that the three of them are signatories to accounts. However, he was accusing his brothers of taking some money and leaving him out of the scene. Who can sign contracts? Who can open or operate accounts? Who can approve major expenditure? We don't have that clarity. Who can receive income? Remember, when Jude came outside, Peter accused Jude and Paul of collecting money from Irokin and sharing it without giving to him. When Jude came outside, Jude said Peter contacted Irokin and said Irokin should pay him directly, and then the remaining money should be paid to Jude and Paul. Okay, so it's obvious that they don't have they don't have a proper structure in place. Like I said, there are questions like who can, the question that would have been answered if they had formal documentation. The questions would have been, that question would have answered who can approve major expenditure, who can receive income, who can authorize transfer, who appoint accountants, who reviews the accounts. Good morning, Fumi, how are you? Who reviews accounts? Who owns intellectual property? You know, say in the midst of all this story where we dey talk, Peter go sing a P-Square song. Paul too go sing P-Square song. Remember, say Jude na their manager. Does Jude retain who owns the intellectual property? Can Paul sue Jude? Can Jude sue Paul? Or can Peter and Paul sue Jude? Or can Jude sue Peter and Paul for intellectual property? We don't know. All of that would have been put in place. Who owns the companies? Remember, Paul say, Peter say, P-Square deal. We don't know whether P-Square is registered as a company. We don't know. Inside that P-Square, Paul, Jude go register. What's the name of that in business again? Interlink. I mean, he call the name of that in business. Jude go register business. He register music. He register entertainment. Now Paul come begin the shalaye they give him. to the extent where they give themselves gbas. Then also, who owns P Square name? Because we just dey talk say P Square, the assumption be say Peter and Paul, P and P equals P Square. But truly, is that truly what it is? Is it truly Peter and Paul that owns P Square? Is it Peter that owns P Square? Is it Paul that owns P Square? Is it Jude that owns P Square? Or is it all three of them that own P Square? Or rather, could it be that Jude actually owns P Square? Remember the case of RCCG, Redeemed Christian Church of God. Redeemed Christian Church of God. Akindayomi carry church. He say God tell am say now Adeboye na get church. No, say na Adeboye. He appoint Adeboye to Kilonporukwe. That God anointed Adeboye to take over from him. Now Akindayomi's children, he get one of his daughters. I see the video some days ago. One of his daughter come outside now, come dey talk grammar. He come dey talk grammar now. He say they no honor him, Papa. He said Akindayomi no dey anywhere. Could it be that when they gave when Akindayomi passed church to Adeboye, the church was not registered? I don't know. And now, because really, if you go CAC, Redeemed Christian Church of God Mission, na Adeboye name, na it be redeemed. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things play out with Adeboye when the man goes. It's going to be very, very interesting, because everything that is built in Redeem is structured around Adeboye and Akinye-Kunu. Okay? Adeboye and Akinye-Kunu. If you don't know what Akinye-Kunu be, go and ask Google. Don't be for my mouth to go for here. Because they don't begin to do rigmarole around them now. So, the core of the matter is we don't know. So if things are not properly placed, could it be that all this fight where Peter and Paul they speak grammar, na Jude na he owns P Square, abi na Peter get P Square, abi na Paul get P Square? We don't really know who owns P Square. The assumption all of us have is that Peter and Paul make P Square, but under the law, is that legally the case? These are questions that, if they had structures in place, they had legal structures in place, these are questions that would have been answered. Can Jude claim intellectual property? Can Peter claim intellectual property? Can Paul, who is collecting royalty, who actually should be collecting the royalty? These are questions that would have been answered. And who reports to whom? Who is accountable? Is Peter accountable to Paul? Is Paul accountable to Peter? Is Peter accountable to Jude and Paul? Is, vice versa. So put them all in that thing. These questions should not be answered only when relationships have been broken. Because all the part 1 to 8b where Peter put for outside, unfortunately, in the court of law, emotions does not act. It is not about emotions. In the court of law, they look at facts, they look at figures. Okay? Please, kindly like the show. Kindly like the show, please. Kindly like the show. Don't let them flag the show. Kindly like it. We are 139 watching. Only 39 likes. Please, kindly increase the likes. Please, kindly increase the likes. So, as I was talking, this question should not be answered only when relationship has broken down. This should be answered while everybody is still getting along. That's why when they started making wave, they should have revisited their brand. Go to a lawyer. And that's why when I first did that show, I said, despite all the money they had, you could see that academically they did not polish themselves. That was what I meant by the comment I made that day. Esther, how are you, sis? That was the comment I made that day. That was the reason for the comment I made that day. So upon reflection, family trust and corporate governance are not enemies. So You cannot trust your brother. You cannot trust your brother and throw caution in the air. You cannot trust your sister. You cannot trust your wife, your brother, your uncle, your auntie, whoever is your business partner. You can't trust them and throw caution in the air. It is good to trust, but don't replace caution. Don't replace legal framework with just mere trust. Okay, like I was saying earlier, me and my friend that owns a travel business, the two of us, we didn't go to our own time is slightly different from mine. I didn't go to bed until 2 this morning. We sat down, we were rethinking our paperwork. Okay, you can trust your brother, you can still trust your family, okay, and still request financial statements. You can love your sister and still sign a shareholders agreement. Okay? You can trust your spouse and still document ownership. I'm going to do short videos on this. I'm going to do short videos to highlight these key things that I'm highlighting. You can employ your cousin and still give them a written job description. Don't just say, it is like this, fine. No, it doesn't work like that. Good governance protects good relationship. Imagine if they had the right things in place, if they had legal framework in place. All this one wey dey gbenu see Mike, they no go dey do part 1 to 8B for each other. So the question I want to ask you, and leave it, just put it in your mind, make it dey do gbigbigbi. If you started a business with your sibling tomorrow, will you feel comfortable asking them to sign a formal agreement? That's a question you need to ponder about. You need to ponder about it. And if you replied, if you have that, if you have a sibling, maybe you are doing business with a family, your wife, your friend, your children, will you feel comfortable asking them to sign formal agreements? Think about it. Ponder on that question. Now, let's go to the second one. Management is not the same as ownership. And remember, Peter kept saying, Jude is our manager. Jude is our manager. Even Paul will talk him. Jude is our manager. Jude is our manager. Now, this question, it brings me to another fascinating issue. Managing a business does not automatically mean owning the business. You can manage something and not own the business. And owning a business does not automatically mean you should manage it. These are two completely different concepts. So we are going to use a very simple example. Okay? Imagine Peter and Paul establish a company. That is Peter and Paul, the P-Square. Peter and Paul that used to sing and dance. Imagine that they establish a company. Each of them, they own 50% of the shares. They then appoint Jude as a managing director. Okay, I'm citing an example now. Jude could potentially have a numerous operational responsibility. He can have a lot of emotional responsibility. He might negotiate contracts, of course, if that's part of his responsibilities and role. He might supervise employees. He might even deal with suppliers. He might manage schedules. He might oversee financial administration. For what Peter was saying, that seemed to have been some of the things that Jude was doing. But was it clearly stated? There's nowhere to tell us. Peter did not show us anywhere that there was clear rule for Jude. It seems like Jude was their elder brother and he was just doing what an elder brother will do. I know some people, they criticize Jude. Jude is Iscariot, leave all those ones. Emotion does not work in the court of law. Let us reflect and learn. But none of this responsibility by themselves necessarily make him a owner. Okay? Ownership normally comes from things such as shares. Okay? Shares in that business, partnership interest, contract, or other legally recognized arrangements. Remember Henry said he invested in their business. The question that we should be asking, and I've been asking myself, okay, he invested in their business. He invested as what? Somebody can invest in a business, but what did he invest in? He invested as what? Was he investing to get a return back? Or did he invest as a gift to them? Or did he invest in the sense that when he invests, he himself, he go also lay ownership of the P-Square brand? Even when that brother Henry do interview, he no explain that. You could see that each and every one of them, they did it from a family. They did it from all. It is all about family and brotherhood. That's how they did what they did. Now, ownership normally comes from things such as shares, partnership interests, contract, or other legally recognized arrangements. From all the shalaye wey dem don shalaye, there's no arrangement, there's no legal arrangement anywhere. Okay? This function is extremely important, and it raises questions I believe is worth discussing. That's why you see me doing show and setting ring light to do show. When Jude took on a significant management responsibility around P-Square, right? How clearly were ownership? Was there a clarity around ownership? Was there clarity around management authority? Was there clear understanding around accountability? Was accountability understood by everyone involved? That is Peter, Paul, even Henry, where he invest. Was there accountability involved? Tony himself too, their older brother, the immediate older brother of the Peter and Paul, that one self get his own beef. Oh, thank you, SK. Peter and Paul too. Tony self, he get his own beef. Tony saying himself dance, say nothing to show for it. Everybody feels there is something, but there is no legal paperwork to document the roles, responsibility, and right of each and every one of them that contributed to the brand that we all know, that we all came to know as P-Square. As we speak, legally, we cannot even attribute the ownership of P-Square to Peter and Paul or Peter, Paul, and Jude, because there's no clarity from the different conversations that has come out. Tony don't do this crack. Henry, their older brother, we say he put money, that one self don't talk. All of them, if all of them carry themselves go court, even people wey we dey see as face of P-Square, they feel kuku no be the owner of P-Square. The court, for all you care, the court might go in the favor of Henry and all that Peter and Paul has worked for, and Jude. Henry might be told, the court might order that Henry gets it all. It's possible. Okay? So, clearly, because they all threw caution in the air, they did brotherly love. Brotherhood, in brotherhood we stand. I trust my older brother. And that's why you see the theme of their quarrel is based on betrayal and lack of trust. That's what it is. Disrespect is based on betrayal, lack of trust, and disrespect. So to the extent that they are deciding who Peter will marry and who Paul will marry and what all the story that goes with it. Even Anita that did the first wife of Brother Paul, the one who wear yellow. Remember saying Anita and I do, hello, how you doing? My angel, my one and only, that girl where they do, where they phone, where Paul they follow the talk. Now Anita, that is his first wife. That lady was a main model, just like Annie Dibia, Annie Macaulay is the main face of your African queen. Till today, we don't know how P-Square settled that one. Okay? So, There is no clarity around it. Now, why is that a question? Because with Paul, with Jude, he took a significant role, but nobody had a clarity. Was everyone operating with the same understanding when Jude took a significant role? Was it just an understanding that he's just going to be our manager? What do they mean by being a manager? What does that entail? What are his obligations? What does that entail? Okay? Was the boundaries clearly documented? From the look of things, the answer is no. There was no clear boundaries. Hence the reason why they say they call meeting. Their mama come from wherever the mama come. They come with two pastors. They carry Lola, begin they talk grammar, put for her head. According to Peter, we know they there with them. Was professional corporate advice obtained? From the look of things, the answer is no. Because despite the fact that all three boys, they are now men, they made their money. Unfortunately, they did not educate themselves about legal understanding and obligations. Okay? And that's why the show I did, people thought I was being derogatory. No, I'm not. As much as they had money, as much as they have money, even till now they have money and exposure, unfortunately, they lack education. The basics of their foundation, of the foundation of their business, they lack it. Right? They didn't have professional corporate advice. It seems that they always went to lawyer only when they needed to have a lawyer. And we saw that with Ubi Franklin. We saw that with Kiss Daniel. We saw that with Wizkid. We saw that, in short, all of them, whether music industry, whether entertainment, we saw it with all of them. Those are important questions. The question we're asking, they are very important. Because family business frequently blurs these boundaries. Someone might say, I built the business with you. Just like what Paul is saying. Just like what Peter is saying. Just like what Jude is saying. Another person will say, but I own the company. We don't know. The two of them think they are P Square. But truly, are they truly P Square? Is P Square owned by the two of them, or is P Square owned by all three? The three of them, the moment they all agree to share equally, does that make them all equal partners and owners of P Square? We don't know. It's down to the court of law to test that out for us. Another person can say, I own the company. Another will say, I manage everything for 20 years. And that's where you see where Jude is talking. Okay, if I know what make I manage, okay, I go my own. Make una dey do nothing. Hello, it is not family business. It is not family relationship. The three of them, the moment they came together as a brand, they became business partners. Another response. Another one will respond. But management doesn't give you equity. Sorry for the God. And suddenly, three people can genuinely have three completely different understanding of the same business. And of course, if you pay attention to what Peter is saying from part 1 to part 8b, if you pay attention, go and read Paul's press release and go and listen to Jude responding to his brother on social media. All three of them, they are all saying the same thing. They are talking from the angle of brotherhood. They are not talking from the angle of business partners. Important lesson here to learn from this. Never assume that contribution equals ownership. For instance, Brother Henry, wey they call Jude, he say Jude na very bad guy. Jude na wicked guy. Jude do this. Jude do that. He did not do this. He did not do that. Even to extent they say na Jude do Otomopo give Paul. I know that Otomopo did. I no follow them no. But if you ask me, I notice any Otomoko there anyway. What I think has happened is all three of them, in short, all of them as a family, they enter the business from the angle of we are family. We are family. I got all my brothers with me. Now they use they do them. They no use legality take and address each other. And that's why Henry they can't in laws. Jude, he did there. He collect insult steady. from Paul and Peter. I been at Peter and Paul. All of them, they did there, they do their thing. Never assume that management equals ownership. Never assume that family member equal ownership. Document it. If someone owns 11%, write it down. Whatever percentage you get, write down for grant. If not 10%, write down. If not 30%, whatever percentage, write down for grant. If somebody owns nothing but receive management fee, write it down. Could it be that that's what Jude was supposed to be receiving? Instead of taking full ownership, instead of taking equal ownership, we don't know. If someone receives commission, specify the percentage. If intellectual property is jointly owned, document it. Because memory changes, relationship changes, success changes people, circumstances changes. But properly documented, properly prepared document gives everyone something objective to return to. When all three of them started, they were all single guys when they started. Then all three of them, now they are happy, they are married. I don't know whether they are happily married, but they are all married. They all have children. And of course, their priorities are changing. The energy they had when they first started is not the same. All three of them are not spring chickens anymore. They are older now, and things have changed for them. Okay? So, but imagine if they had things properly documented. Remember, also with them too comes responsibility. As they begin to have their own families, responsibility comes in. I believe Peter's children, the one on glasses, I believe his children are much older than the children of Paul. Okay, so very soon his kids probably will start going to university. You know, say to born children, my place they say to born children no be problem. Now when you begin to pay school fee, that time your body go begin to tell you. So let's go to the third angle. Where were the periodic financial reviews? You know, remember, Peter come outside. He say, Jude has been collecting money. Paul has been collecting money. Paul even say 90 million. Say Jude owe 90 million. Jude will say, no, Paul, 90 million. Story. Paul myself, Peter self will come. He say he money, he get one money. They do the money, they don't give her. He don't help Cynthia Morgan find money with low loss. All of them, they begin to speak grammar. Imagine if they had audit. Remember I said it in my first video. I said, how come they were running a business that they were not auditing that business every year? Why come they didn't go through financial auditing? That shows the lack of management skills. And that shows their lack of education. It comes back again to lack of education. Despite the fact they were making money, they were not doing things properly. Right? Because if they were being audited annually or quarterly, auditors would have seen irregularities. Auditors would have seen they would have raised questions about money transfers, transactions, assets, equity, liabilities. They would have raised questions. Unfortunately, it's not even say it is obvious they were not doing financial reviews. They were not open to financial scrutiny and auditing. Hence the reason why after many years they are beginning to find themselves in the story that they are talking about now. Now you can make Brother Jude begin to show evidence. Evidence is full everywhere. Peter self carry evidence come outside, they full everywhere. Paul self carry evidence come outside. All of them come begin to do shalaye.com. Because they left what they should do. Again, brotherly. We are brothers, we are sisters. You are my wife, you are my sister. Oh, you just spend this money, sweetheart. Yes, I spent. How you asking me that question? At night, sweetheart go touch sweetheart. From there they go do when they don't do that one finish, say, okay, I've paid you in kind. In case back party, hello, don't do that. Now let us talk about money. This is where financial businesses can become particularly vulnerable. Remember, I always talk about financial literacy. Now, questions and allegations concerning finance are form part of the public dispute surrounding the Okoye family. Na im make people dey call Jude Iscariot. But the question be say, did Jude truly steal money? We no know. Did Paul truly steal money? We no know. Peter, did he truly steal money? We no know. All three of them, like I said in my first video, they are as guilty as each other. They were educated, and I'm sure their wives, when Lola would have guided them, but when the kind rigmarole wey dey use that girl use that woman eye take see ọmọlọmọ ó yà sún sẹ́yìn fún gbogbo wọn, make una dey do una thing the way una like am. Of course, the allegation is Paul took money, Peter took money, Jude took money. Hierarchy paid, hierarchy no pay. Royalty, I was building my house, they stopped paying for my project, blah blah blah. They build us in America, they put us inside Togo, they build us inside submarine. We don't know the cocoa of the cocoa. Unfortunately, they were not open to annual financial review. They were not open to audits, unfortunately. So all this story where they speak, yes, they can go and audit them, but even at the audit, unfortunately, is years and years of lack of audits. Because even the money they are all collecting, there would have been justification for the money, and there would have been question around, why are you getting this, why are you getting that? But again, they let trust, brotherly love, they say let brotherly love continue, as they talk am for inside Bible. I am deliberately not presenting dispute allegation as established fact, because all of them, all wetin they talk, it is they say, she say, I say. All the three of them, everybody go talk, put for your own side. Nobody go ever dey guilty. All three of them, they are as bad as themselves. Instead, I want to focus on governance questions. So what are the questions? What financial control should a successful business have had in place? If your business is successful, what financial control should you have in place? For a business operating at P-square level, there should ideally be regular financial reporting. From all the story and rigmarole wey they do, it is obvious that was missing. Okay? Now, not 10 years later, not after a disagreement, not when somebody becomes suspicious. Regularly, it should have been done. That's when you do it. You don't do it when you are suspecting somebody. Paul thief money, Peter thief money, Jude thief money. They don't do things like that. Every year, you should open yourself up for scrutiny. Depending on the structure, owners should be able to understand. You sit with auditors, they explain it, they have reports. They have detailed financial reports. The owners of businesses, Paul, Peter, Jude, and Henry, most likely, should be able to understand the income, expenses, assets, liability, tax obligation, management fee, royalty, company account, major transaction, investment, related third party. That time when they go sing with Akon. What was it? Of course, Akon no go follow them talk 1+1. Na in legal team, na in management team, na go they speak to them. Did Akon, who negotiated with them, were they mesmerized that they are going to be singing with a popular musician, and they did not negotiate their deal properly? From the look of things, most likely that's the case. Most likely that was the case. They were so mesmerized. By I'm going to sing with Akon. Maybe Akon carry bill, tear them bill. Don't worry, we'll pay for it, because they are looking at that will allow them to blow. But they were not looking at their own financial vulnerability around it. And of course, if they had financial auditing and reviews, that would have helped. That would have helped them to checkmate the deals they were making, the amount they were agreeing to pay, and what they were choosing to pay. That would have checkmated it. And significant changes in financial position of the business, they would have understood the differences in the changes. They should also there should also be appropriate professional oversight and, where required or appropriate, independent accounting or audit process. From the look of things, they did not do all of that. Yeah, they can still do it, but it's almost like, they can still do it, but it's almost like it's too late. Because if they had it all in place, they probably won't be where they are today. But it doesn't mean they cannot do it. They can still do it and still rectify things. But I think the brotherly love sees us don't enter inside. Now, if you are asking, why does this matter? Because financial oversight isn't simply about catching wrongdoings. It can catch mistake, poor accounting, duplicate payment. If there are duplicated payments, it can highlight that. It can highlight tax problem. Maybe the tax they were even paying, maybe it's even more than what they were supposed to be paying, or maybe they were even underpaying tax. Who knows? You don't know. Maybe, in short, when they wanted to buy their property in America, did they actually buy the property the right way? Is it a case? We all know, those of us that live in diaspora, particularly realtors that deal with those who live in Africa, sometimes the bills are different from what the kind of, because they know you don't understand the system. The way they will charge you, the way they would negotiate things will be different from the way they negotiate with those who live here, who understand how the system works in diaspora. Most of these guys, I want to go and buy a house in London, they want to show off. I have a house in London, I have a property in America. But they don't understand the nitty-gritty around it. It's just like those of us in diaspora too. When people in Nigeria will come and tell us, or people in Africa will come and tell us, oh yeah, come and invest. Come and invest in Africa. When you won't go invest, so a lot of us went to go and invest blindly. For instance, you have people like those that went to go and invest in land banking, where they show them a green space land, and yet they carry themselves, they go there, invest. They no ask question, they suspend their brain. Financial auditing can highlight, it can catch mistakes, it can look at poor accounting, it can look at duplicate payments, it can highlight duplicate payment, highlight tax problem, unusual expenditure, weak internal control, conflict of interest, or simply misunderstanding. It can highlight all of that. Imagine receiving a clear financial report every quarter. Right? If they had that in place, most of the questions that maybe Peter was asking, maybe those questions would have been answered. Most of the concerns that maybe Jude, Paul, Peter, the three of them, most of the concerns they had, maybe those that would have been resolved. And they would have been advised, okay, you are now beginning to have your own family. Okay, Jude, you are now understanding the management angle of this business. Okay, I want to set up my own business. You will be advised on the right way to go about it. Maybe, because most of the things that they're talking about, if they had legal documentation, most of these things are not a problem. Also, with legal reports, when you have professionals you have financial professionals who are reviewing their accounts, they will be able to ask questions like, why is this expense? Why is your expense increasing? That's if it's increasing or decreasing. What is this company? For instance, Peter was accusing Jude of setting up a company. What was it all about? Who authorized these transactions? Remember, Peter, Paul, and Peter was saying that all three of them have access to, they are all signatories of the accounts. But from what he was saying, he said it's Peter, what's his name? Jude, who distributes money to them. Are they distributing it appropriately? All of these things would have been asked. Why did revenue fail? They will ask questions like that. Where did this payment go to? Just like what Peter was asking, perhaps that would have given clarity. What asset does the company currently have? Because remember, P-Square is an asset, is a company, right? Even the property that all three of them are claiming to own, do they really own it, or does it actually belong to P-Square? But of course, they've done brother inside. Those questions becomes ordinary business question rather than accusation between brothers. That is if they have things in place. Reflection on Peter's concern. So when we hear Peter publicly raising financial concern, one question worth asking is, could stronger periodic financial reporting and independent review have brought questions to the surface much earlier? Of course, like we said, if they had done the right thing, that would have highlighted things earlier. May they come, I go, may they come. I get their time. So long as they can pay me my money, I'm happy to do it for them. But we should also recognize that outsiders do not necessarily have access to every private agreement, account, or professional review that exists. The broader lesson remains extremely important. Don't wait until trust breaks down before checking the numbers. That is a lesson there. Now to the fourth one. Let's continue. The fourth one, which is the biggest question: who or what was P-Square? Who get P-Square? What was P-Square? This may be the most interesting governance question of all this rigmarole. What did they do? You know, say when we say P-Square, we say, it's Peter and Paul. Hello, is it truly Peter and Paul that is the owner of P-Square? Most fans will probably answer, when you say P-Square, you say, Peter and Paul, right? They were the performers identified publicly with P-Square. The fact that they were dancing, that they were singing and dancing, does not make them P-Square. They might just be the face of P-Square, but they might not necessarily be P-Square. But from a business perspective, we need to ask deeper questions. Okay? Was P-Square simply a stage name? Right? That's a question. Was it a registered trademark? We don't know that. Was it owned by individuals? Was it owned through a company? That is P-Square. Was it owned by individual? Was it owned through a company? Was Peter and Paul equal owners? Did Jude have any ownership interest in any relevant business entity that they did? Were management rights confused with ownership rights? Right? Which entity review performance income? Which entity own intellectual property? Who own the catalog? Who controls licensing? That is, even if they have it in place. Please share this video. Kindly help us share it. Just in case. Maybe you never can tell, it could get to them. I actually know people who know them. Who has authority to enter contracts? This question demonstrates why documentation matters. You can see, we have been saying P-Square. Do they truly own P-Square? A family should never have to determine the structure of a multinational, a multi-million naira or multi-million dollar business by asking, but what did we agree 20 years ago? If that is how you are running your business, where you are just doing based on love and trust. What we agreed, we sat down around the table. When we were in Unijust, when we were in Gogalada, we sat down. We said we are going to dance, and that by the time you start making your money, when you start making your fame, you should have gone to legally tidy things up. Like I said, me and my friend, we have always said we wanted to do. I love traveling. My friend also loves traveling. She's always wanted to do a travel business. I've always wanted to do a travel business. Okay? Now, somewhere along the line, we found common ground. Yes, we run the business together. I have my own brand. She has her own brand. We both run it as individual, independent business owners. Even though we work jointly, we do the structures jointly, we do the management jointly, but we also own our business individually. Okay, I know it gets complicated that way, but we own our business individually. But we agree to run our social media ad under one company, under my own company, and all these things are legally documented. But what did we agree 20 years ago when you start asking this kind of question? There should be documentations. 3 questions every family business should answer. Who owns the business? Who manages the business? Who controls what? It is very important that these questions are in place. Answer this question before you even decide to do any business. Those questions sound similar. They are not. Even though you think they are similar, they are not. Someone can own a business without managing it. Someone can manage a business without owning it. Someone can have signing authority without having ownership. I hope you are clocking it. Someone can earn commission without holding shares. Someone can contribute anonymously to building a brand without automatically acquiring legal ownership of it. That's why roles, rights, and obligation matters a lot when you are doing business, particularly with your loved ones. Whether brother, whether sister, whether husband, whether wife, whether children, whether mother, whether father, anybody you are doing your business with, stipulate it, spell it out clearly, legally. Now, to the other part of it, what should have been documented? We have talked about what and why, right? Now let us look at what should have been documented. If three siblings, in the case of P Square, in the case of Jude, Paul, the Okoye brothers, let's call them Okoye brothers now. In the case of Paul, Peter, and Jude, the question is, if the three of them were building a major entertainment business today, the truth is, I would want them to obtain independent professional advice and clearly document matters such as ownership. That's what they should have been doing. If the hands of the clock could be turned, they should have documented who owns the business, who owns what percentage, who manages what, who is the manager, who has the management right, who runs day-to-day operations, who makes decisions, what decision requires everyone's approval, who has financial authority, who can access accounts and approve transactions, who can get compensation. Does the manager receive salary, commission, profit, share, or equity? Who owns intellectual property? Who owns the name, recording, composition, trademark, and other rights? Who is responsible for the accounting? Who prepares financial statements and how frequently are they reviewed? Who has that independent oversight? When should external accountants, auditors, or lawyers become involved? Because from the look of things, they all have their individual lawyers. Who addresses and who manages conflict of interest? What happens if somebody does business with a company in which they or a relative have an interest? Like in the case of conflict of interest, and that was what Peter was insinuating with that north side, where he was saying there's conflict of interest. That was basically what he was saying in the long and short of the story. You know, if they had all of this, if they had their documentation all in place, they won't be asking all these questions they're asking in public. What happens if someone does business with a company in which they or a relative have an interest? Remember, Peter was accusing Jude of having a shared ownership, having shares. He has a company north side, and the shareholder is his wife or something. Who has the exit? Who is responsible for the exit provision? Now, Mr. P is doing P Square has turned to Mr. P, Rude Boy, and Jude. So who owns the P Square in question? When they were separating, when they choose to go independently, how did they manage that? Exactly, thank you. What happens if one of them is no more? Now, what happens if Peter wants to leave, Paul wants to leave, Jude wants to leave? What happens? What happens if the manager resigns? Abi they sack manager? What happens? Can one brother continue using the P Square name? Those are questions. Can somebody sell their interest? Who determines its value? Who manages dispute resolution? Before anybody goes on or to social media or court, is there mediation? Who manages the attribution? Who is the independent professional? At what point did they get independent professional intervention? These are very uncomfortable comfortable conversations, but they are highly needed when you run a business. Exactly, FEMC, exactly. You can see when we break it down into reality, when you start reflecting on what they are talking about, you can see the amount of mess they have made. You can see the amount of mess they've made to themselves. Yes, people are talking, Peter is hot, Paul is hot, Jude is hot. No, it's not as simple as that. These were three brothers who did not manage their business properly. These were three brothers who threw caution in the air and had a very strong brand, but they ran into the ground because they lack what did they call it? They lack legal education, legal and financial education. They threw caution in the air. As much as we want to look at it and say, they did this, family separate, mother did this, father did this to them. Hello? These were guys who were very bad, who were terrible businessmen. They had no business acumen. It's not about making money. This was a brand. We don't know who owns P Square as we speak right now. Who owns P Square? Even the north side that they're talking about, that they say Jude set up, what is that north side really all about? All these conversations that I highlighted, these questions, they are very, very uncomfortable conversation. But it is very important to have this kind of conversation at the very beginning when you want to start your business. It doesn't matter who you are doing it with. Because when relationship deteriorates, this conversation becomes much more expensive because you need to get professionals to come and start speaking. It is not about the fact that they even have individual legal team speaks volume of how miseducated they are. And that's why they say money cannot buy common sense. They threw caution in the air, and here they are in a big hot mess. These are guys who had a very strong brand, but they mismanaged the brand they had. Because all they did was strictly, it is my brother, it is my brother. Now let's go to the sixth angle. The 5 lessons from the P Square rift. As we begin to round up, here are my 5 major reflections. Like I said, lesson 1, love is not corporate governance. Love your family, trust your family, but document your business agreements. Don't be like the P Square, don't be like the Okoye brothers. Lesson 2, management and ownership are different. Okay? Management and ownership are very different. Thanks a lot for the gift. Lesson A, running something doesn't necessarily mean you own it. And owning something doesn't necessarily mean you run it. Define both. It doesn't matter who you are that you are doing it with. Lesson number 3, financial transparency must be a routine. That's why it's important to always do audits, financial review every year, quarterly, yearly, do it. Don't ask for accounts only when you become suspicious. Make financial reporting part of your normal operation of the business. And you will agree with me. Everything that Peter said, everything that Jude said, everything that Paul said, everything that Peter, Paul, Jude, that the three of them are dragging today, if they had done the right thing, if there was financial transparency, they won't be where they are today. They will not be there at all. Lesson number 4, define the business. If 3 people say our company, they should all be able to explain exactly what the word our, you know that word our, O-U-R, what does it mean? Oscar Uniform Romeo. What does the word our, what does it mean? Okay? Who owns what? Who owns what? Who controls what? Who gets what? Who is responsible for what? Don't just say it is our own. My father's property is not our property. My property is not our property. Even as husband and wife, spell it out. Spell the our out properly. So that you will not come and be shalaye.com. You will not come and be doing part 1 to part 8b like Peter is doing. Like Jude, he himself carry microphone and ring light. Paul himself carry microphone and ring light. All of them, they carry microphone, they do this track, give themselves. If they spelled out their business properly, we will not be where we are today. Lesson number 5, document everything while the relationship is still good. That I want to still they do. Me and my brother, we know the day fighting, we know the day quarrel. That is when you document things. This may be the biggest lesson, and I'm very sure all 3 of them could only reflect, including Henry, we carry money put for grand, when money enter voicemail, including Tony, we dance, we no get return for dancing. People often prepare agreement because they expect relationship to fail. No, you don't do things like that. Me, I see it differently. You get to one person, with me and them, I say, let's do this thing together. When I was talking about my travel business, and I reached out to her. She's one of my followers here. I reached out, one of my subscribers. I reached out to her, and I said, let's do this. We talked about. I said what I was looking for. She was able to and then I had an agreement. I sent it to her, and and she's good to go. We are all good to go. Okay. So it's not as simple as that. Put things in documentation. Document things. It doesn't cost you anything to document it. That way you don't feel cheated. Even if you document something, if it's documented, you read it. If you don't agree, whatever you don't agree with, check it back. It can always be adjusted. Me, I'm that kind of person. When somebody sends something to me to read, can you do? I say, I read it. I read it word for word. I dey use highlighter. Na Nicola Sturgeon na teach me that thing. The time wetin they call am? The time where she be health secretary when my office was under her. She go read that woman. She go read. In short, whatever you cannot defend, no send am to am. She go read am word for word. That was one boss. Forever, I respect her for that. She go read and highlight am. You come begin the shalaye. So it is very important. Don't just say, it's my brother. A lot of us dey on that table. We'll just carry and sign. Okay, it's fine. We'll sign it. It doesn't work like that. Don't just sign. Let us do it together. Read it, understand it. People often prepare agreements because they expect relationship to fail. I see it differently. Good agreements can help prevent relationship from failing. And in closing, my closing reflection, and this is why I believe the P-Square story is bigger than celebrity gossip. Say we don't come. I don't already do one show where I don't give the 3 of them, say come, all of them, make una pack, go one corner. Your lack of education. You remember when I said it? I know people came for me. Aproko, you shouldn't. You were not empathetic. No, I don't have to be empathetic. The three of them lack education. Despite the exposure and the money they got, and the exposure they got, what I was expecting from them is that they would have educated themselves. They would have polished their business understanding. Unfortunately, money does not buy common sense. And the three of them are typical example of money does not buy common sense. It is a lesson for African family businesses. Those of you that have African shops, have African catering business, whatever business you have together, this is a lesson for everybody. Okay? It's also a lesson for siblings starting business together, friends starting business together. It is a lesson for husband and wife building businesses together. It is a lesson for entertainers, entrepreneurs, lesson for every one of us. I don't need paperwork. That is what a lot of people say. We are family. You are my neighbor. You are my friend before. We are friends now. We are best friend. Don't do it like that. Do the right thing. Okay? There is this. It is called business. Don't mix business with pleasure. There's a reason why they said that. Okay? Business requires systems. Family relationship, they are emotional. At least you could hear from all three brothers. They call me inside the house and Lola get pregnant. Then they come and say that Lola, they don't want to see Lola. They want to see the child. They don't want to see Lola. Me self, I no born male pikin. Until I come and born male pikin. I call my son so he no gree call my son. All those story. Na emotional talk na be that one. All those ones. When they reach inside house, they go box themselves, answer their question. The one we consign us, na their business pattern. Their lack of their careless business behavior, their reckless business behavior, their illiterate, the lack of literacy in their business is why we are talking about them. Their personal life no concern me. If they like, make the three of them, may they carry themselves, may they give themselves bass boots, may they go get black belt. That is their father's problem. That is their family problem. Business requires system. Family relationship, they are emotional. Okay? When those two words meet, we need both. When family and business come together, when you have family, when you have business, you have to separate your emotions with your families. And when you are in the business mood, you put systems in place. Legal systems, put it in place. So that nobody will come and be on a ring light for each other. So that you will not come and have a very dark man come and be doing nonsense and ready up and down the way they do. You will not come and have him come. I'm recording the court proceeding. I am reading the paperwork. He can't turn himself to Vincent Olushi Okoye. Love your family like your family, but structure your business like a business. Did you get that? Let me repeat. Love your family like your family, but structure your business like a business. Imagine if these brothers, if they've structured their business like a business, they no go set ring light to give each other. Paul no go give Peter correct gbosa for face. Jude no go carry English. They tell am say make he carry him coffee and come when they ask am question. Na that matter that we see they settle. And there's another different question. When a family business becomes successful, at what point should professional governance replace informal family arrangements? That is one thing. Remember, when they were still doing their Michael Jackson kurukere dance, they know. Wetin I talk? Wetin I do? Oh, your name na Olushi. No vex. The name just enter my head. You know, say when you dey do show, Orishi na go dey enter your head. No vex. Olushi, no vex. Na the name wey enter my head. Na I talk. And there's when a family business becomes successful, At what point should professional governance replace informal family arrangement? Should it be when the business is just worth 10,000? Is it when it's worth 100,000? Is it when it's worth 1 million? I'm talking of pounds now. You know, say na pounds. Na me, I dey use it dey speak. Na pounds area. Na where they stay na pounds we dey spend. Or the structure, or should the structure be from day one? My answer is very, very clear. The structure should be from day one. You should spell out everything clearly from day one. Okay? Spell it out from day one. And regarding P Square specifically, could some of the conflict, let us ask our question with regard to this P Square, could some of the conflict we are witnessing today have been avoided if ownership, management, financial oversight, roles, rights and obligation had been formally documented and regularly reviewed from the beginning? Of course, the conflict will not go witness them now if all these things have been in place. That's a conversation I want us to have. Not Team Peter, not I am Team Paul. Paul is a narcissist. Paul is a narcissist. Paul is a calacosist. Whatever cyst, the way una dey cyst, that is not the conversation. It is us learning lessons. Learning lesson around team accountability, team transparency, team documentation, team good governance. The three of them, they were a team, but they were not accountable to each other. They did not have professional guidance. They threw caution in the air. No room for ambiguity. Thank you, Jare Rosie. Because whatever ultimately emerged from the dispute surrounding P Square, there is one lesson every entrepreneur can take away. Never allow success to grow faster than the structure protecting it. Did you hear that? Never allow success to grow faster than the structure protecting it. Actually, this statement is a credit to my friend and my business partner in my travel business. Yesterday, like I said, earlier about this morning, I think so, yeah. That was when, I said we're looking at our paperwork. That was one thing she said. She made that statement and I penned it down. So it's very important. That's my keyword. So credit to her. Never allow success to grow faster than the structure protecting it. Always put structures in place so that even when success is growing, the structure is there to curtail it and manage it as it grows and direct the paths. Some people allow success to grow before they put structure in place. In the case of P Square, they allow success to grow first, and then they now started thinking of putting structure in place. At that time, things have fallen apart. The arrow of God was no longer at ease, so things fell apart. Thank you all for joining me. Of course, if you have, it's always, if you have any lessons, let's get in the comment section and put comments there. Like I said, this evening, I'm coming to do an interview. I have an interview. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I had a meeting with, what's the name? I had a meeting with one of the major hospitality. I had a meeting with 2 hospitality companies, and that kept me really, really busy. I was trying to, so luckily I secured a deal with them, so I'm now able to sell their products, which is really good because I really wanted them. I wanted them so badly. Yes, so I'm able to do them now. So I've got that put out in the place. Now, before I go, let me promote my business. Please, I still want people to please don't think of my bad behavior. Kindly help me subscribe to my YouTube page, to my business YouTube page, Aproko Travels. I think now I have so far, when I checked earlier, actually, I think I have 12 subscribers. Please, let's keep increasing the subscribing. Please, kindly help me follow, help me share, help me subscribe, and help me, subscribe to the channel. I'm growing it, and and also for your business, for travel informations and deals, will tend to post. I've got a staff that is dedicated to posting, to managing the channel, because obviously I don't have the time to do that. I oversee it. Myself and my friend, we oversee it, but we agreed that we have someone who would manage all our social media pages. And there's also Aproko Travel is on TikTok. It used to be my personal page, but I couldn't be bothered with the whole TikTok nonsense. So I just changed it to Aproko Travel. So it's there. So please kindly help me subscribe to my Aproko Travel channel. And also, like I said, I've got some good deals for flight, hotels. In short, I just secured a deal with Hilton and Marriott. I've always wanted to sell their chain. I wanted to be able to have their chain on my business bucket. So I'm now able to confidently sell their products. So so I've got Hilton and Marriott. I've got them in the bag now. So then there's spas. If you just want to book just holiday resorts for your weddings, birthdays, honeymoon, whatever it is. Some people don't want to book flight, but they just need accommodation anywhere in the world. Just reach out to me and I would get that sorted for you. Reach out to Aproko with Aproko Travel and we'll reach out to you. Now, also for your destination birthdays, weddings or whatever, just reach out and would definitely work with you. And for honeymoon, I know honeymoon is becoming popular. Please reach out. We have you covered. Whatever it is that you want to do. If it's just flight alone, reach out. Accommodation alone, reach out. For flight, for package holidays, for river cruise, ship cruise. I've done some few videos on some of the cruise I've done. I'm actually doing another one in October, which is just 2 months time. I'm doing another one, so I'll be documenting that. So if you want to see what we're doing, Aproko Travel is where you need to be. Go in there and see it, and you see what I'm doing there, what we're doing on that page. And we always have our travel, so if you want to travel, just reach out to us. If you do referrals, we definitely give you, we definitely give commission for referrals as well. So anywhere in the world, Africa. Unfortunately, we don't book holidays for Nigeria. We can do flights, but we don't do holidays for Nigeria. That's just because of the Nigerian government regulations. So that's why. So let me put the video.
What if planning your dream holiday could be exciting instead of stressful? Imagine having one trusted travel expert helping you every step of the way. Welcome to Aproko Travel, where your journey begins with confidence. At Aproko Travel, we don't just book holidays, we create unforgettable experiences. Whether you're traveling for family, business, romance, adventure, or relaxation, we're here to make every journey seamless. From the vibrant streets of Cape Town to the shores of Zanzibar, explore the world with us. Beaches to wild adventures. From flights and hotels to breathtaking cruises and luxury escapes, we bring everything together in one trusted travel platform. Everything you need for your next trip is just a tap away with guaranteed best rates and easy booking. Need help planning? Our AI travel assistant and dedicated support team are always ready to guide you. Get instant recommendations and 24/7 customer support, ensuring your trip goes perfectly from start to finish. Whether you're celebrating a honeymoon, planning a family getaway, or booking a group holiday, or treating yourself to a once-in-a-lifetime luxury escape on a private yacht, Aproco Travel helps turn your dream into reality with personalized service tailored specifically to you. We believe travel should be simple, transparent, and unforgettable. Every inquiry receives personal attention, helping you find travel options that match your plans and budget so you can focus on the memories. Because at the end of the day, your journey matters to us. The world is waiting, and your next adventure starts today. Join Aproco Travel and discover travel made simple. Contact us now and let's plan together.
Yeah, so that's it. That's Aproco Travel. So please, I look forward to you. Please patronize us, and we patronize us, make referrals to us, and yes, and also, like I said, at the last every last Saturday of the month, if you have any business you're doing, reach out to me and we can advertise your business. I'm quite happy to advertise your business for you. Just reach out to me, send your video promos, and I can help advertise it. Let's all grow we all rise by lifting each other. So let's grow together. Please make sure your business is legit. Please, na beg I dey beg. Make sure it is legit. Okay? And we'll advertise it, and let's patronize each other. Now, for Aproco Travel, if you need to book, just send a message. Send WhatsApp to this number. There's a number to send WhatsApp to. Send WhatsApp to this number, and definitely we'll respond to you. We'll respond to you ASAP. Usually we have 7 working days to respond. We'll respond in between that. That's a minimum. We'll respond, okay? So, thank you everybody, and I will see you all later in the evening. I have an interview I want to do. It's a very interesting interview, and I find that story very interesting. When they say beware of a single story narrative, this interview is a very good example of that, where someone is coming to come and tell us, they come and narrate stuff to us, and it's about single story. Okay, there's been a story that has come out. It's been so this is what happened to them, blah 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 blah. They unlawfully did this to them. They used a word to Bamoloju. Apparently, that was not the case. There was a whole lot that happened behind the scene, but unfortunately, the person they are screaming the name is not going to come out and come and speak, because if that person speak, they will say, it's because it's influential. So somebody who knows the case is coming to come and grant an interview and would ask questions. And of course, I would encourage that people put questions in the, that people put questions in the comment section. It's about Femi Jimo. There's these guys, the Femi Jimo guys, the MFM guys that, what's the name? The MFM guys that were arrested. Apparently, they were arrested for 9 years. They were in prison for 9 years. Apparently, there was quite a lot that happened behind the scene. But unfortunately, what we keep hearing is this, look what you arrested them, blah, blah. As a matter of fact, apparently, MFM never even went to court with them. The only reason why the case was thrown out of court is because MFM didn't even bother following through the case. Now, I am not speaking on behalf of MFM. I just wanted to look at that case. I'm very interested in that particular interview, because I actually came across it on YouTube, and I said to myself, I found that very interesting, because I feel there's lessons to learn. Forget about whether it is Olukoya, whether it is MFM, forget about forget about whether it is church or no church. The main thing is you can see how single story narrative can drive perceptions. On my page is all about learning. It's not about, there's nothing to my page than learning. That's why I set up my page. It's for learning and reflection. It could have been anybody. It could have been anybody that was a victim of all of this. It could have been you. It could have been me that was being accused. And if I'm not able to defend myself, sometimes words go faster. Words goes very, very fast. So if you want to hear more about it, I have, I actually reached out to the person and By 7 o'clock, I will be interviewing the person. Please, I would beg that we are all very cautious. Ask your questions. Let's be polite, and I'm open. Let's learn. There's a lot of lessons to learn from this. Particularly those of us who are calling out pastors, like when we're talking about trending stories. Sometimes what all that glitters is not gold, and that's what I'm picking up from most of these cases. All that glitters is not gold. What they are saying, what people come out to say, anybody can come out and set ring light and come and talk. Look at the case of this. Of this Peter, Paul, and Jude. Now, all of them don't set ring light. But the only thing that we can learn from all of that is just their bad business behaviors. We don't truly know what really went wrong. Peter came and said they told Lola did waiting. Jude will say Peter told her one thing. Paul will say Paul, Peter, whatever, they tell her one thing. Or the three of them are busy accusing themselves. But the only people that know what truly transpired is the three of them. Even the senior brother Henry, Agbanyeno Otole, that one come, Jude, you're a bad boy, you are this. Talk something that would allow everybody to get their head calm in her. I've never hidden it. I didn't grow up with my siblings, we all grew up apart. When our dad died, they shared us like sliced bread. Okay? Now, as we were growing up, of course, we all grew up in different homes. Of my siblings, I was the one who everybody assumed was going to enjoy the most, because I went to go and stay with my mother's younger sister, who my dad apparently had said several times that if anything ever happens, I trust so and so to care for my children and look after them in a way that even me, when I look down from wherever I am, will be happy. Unfortunately, I'm sure the man knows. Say that it did not happen like that. Okay? Now, we all grew up apart. For a long time, it was hell, because we all had different perceptions. Naturally, I'm that kind of person. I'm very cautious around people. But at the same time, I remember myself and my older sister, we don't see eye to eye. Me and my older sister, we don't used to see eye to eye. There was a time like that. We don't see eye to eye. But me and my immediate younger brother, we've always connected. We've always kind of get along. Etienne, you need to go back and watch the show from the beginning. We've always gotten along, right? Hey, Aisa, how are you? You abandoned me. I don't miss you. Hey, what is the name? We never saw eye to eye, but me and my immediate younger brother, we go on very well. It doesn't mean we don't offend ourselves. We do, but I think we just know how to find our way around ourselves. But me and my older sister were like night and day, okay? But as we began to grow and began to understand ourselves, we learned to do things, we learned to navigate things differently. Does it mean we are the best of the best? No, we're not. We still quarrel. She still offend me, I still offend her. In short, all five of us, if you see all of us together, you will not believe we did not grow up together. Because we made deliberate effort to come together and build our relationship beyond our differences. To build our relationship beyond how we see ourselves. Because what unites us is bigger than what divides. What unites us is much more than what divides us. You can't see my son and think he's an only child. He adores his younger ones. Now, they say cousin. They are not his cousins. They are his younger ones. He adores his younger ones. In short, at his wedding, all of them, the ones that were around, you could see all of them, they adored, they were all together doing their thing. They even did to the extent that they took picture of when when they were the twins, when they were 1 year old. They did it before and now. They did it then and now. They even do picture reach that level. But the cocoa of the matter, now, all of them, they call themselves, they speak to themselves. In short, one of my younger sister, one of her daughters, is the same birthday mate as my son. They speak to themselves. They have those conversations. You can't see my son and think he's an only child. Okay, and the same thing too. We all kind of get along. Like my daughter's My daughter's a biological parent and her siblings. You can't see them and think I'm not their mom. And you can't see them and think I'm not related to them. We just gel. Life is complicated without you stressing yourself. Okay? Do things the right way. When you do things the right way, single story narrative destroys things. There are a lot of people who have found themselves in trouble because of single story narrative. They say, she say, I say. A lot of people have found themselves fighting other people's battle that they have no business fighting. Some people have found themselves picking up fights that they have no business fighting. Some people have inherited other people's enemy just because they say, she say, I say. And here we are, shalayeing for ourselves. If we want to understand the things of the spirit, 7 o'clock this evening at 7 p.m. I promise you, I'm coming back out. Because definitely I keep postponing it. 7 o'clock this evening, join me as I interview the person I want to interview. And I love you to please come with your questions. Be open-minded. Let us all learn. Me, I want to learn. When I saw the videos on YouTube, I was like, what? Is this truly all that happened? Like I said, all this MFM rigmarole, me, I didn't get myself involved because I was not interested. I saw it as family story. But of course, whatever interests me, because for me, my page is all about us learning. Whatever brings about learning is what I'm always interested in. I'm not interested in whether they do corridor prayer, maybe they do corridor deliverance. That will not concern me. I don't follow them, go their church, go they do I know they do deliverance. I know they do prayer. I know they follow anybody, go do corridor prayer. Any prayer where I won't pray, where I know if you pray for inside my bedroom, make I leave and for where he did. Even when I was a very active Christian, any prayer where I won't pray, where I know if you pray for inside my bedroom, leave them. All those, let's go and pray on the mountain, let's go and pray on the hill. I know they follow person do them. According to my mama, before she passed, my mama go say, anything after the grace, na gossip. My mama, once you don't do, na Catholic they go. Once you don't do, hey Mary full of grace, the Lord is with you. Once you don't do that, her grace story don't finish. Any prayer where you won't pray outside the rosary, my mama no send you. So na so life be. So my people, 7 o'clock is a time. Let us meet. But on top of this P-Square stuff, please kindly go back and watch it from the beginning if you are just joining. There is a lot of lessons to be learned here. Share with family, share with loved ones, so that we can all learn together. Don't let us replicate another P-Square in our lives. Don't let us replicate another Okoye brothers. You can be educated and be stupid financially. You can be educated and be stupid business-wise. Oh, Viney Cheese. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We can be educated and be financially stupid. Okay? So please, let us learn. Go back and watch it. Even me, like I say, I go back to watch my own show because I don't know it all. Okay? Go back and watch it. Reflect on it. Forget about the messenger now. Pay attention to the message. Forget about the gossip. Pay attention to the nitty-gritty of what truly led to their problem. Their problem did not start from mother did not attend marriage, father attended the burial. That's not where their problem started from. Their problem started from joining business with pleasure. And that's where they are today. I'll see you all later. Take care. 7 o'clock is the time, and I'll see you later. Bye.